You had your chance and then you blew it.
That is the most absurd statement of the year.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, baby.
I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it.
Live from Rock Solid Studios in Granite Falls, it's time for MinneZona Sports, live with DJ Matty C. and Paul the Shield Vold.
And this is MinneZona Sports Live. We are back for episode 38, folks. Yes, claps. Claps all around zoners, my fellow zoners. We have a really good show today. And by the way, I'm DJ Matty C, a.k.a. Matt Callan, a.k.a. Callie, a.k.a. Matty C, etc., etc., etc. And all the way from Woods and Shores Studio in Aiken, Minnesota, Paul Volt, the Shield. What's going on, Shield?
It is Wednesday, but somehow it already feels like it should be Friday night for some reason. It's been a week. It's only Wednesday, but we've got another great show lined up for you. I am so excited about tonight.
I'm very excited as well, Voldy. One thing I think we got to mention, too, is that we have a guest. And,
we do.
He's quite well known. I believe people know him as John Gruden, the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, claps all around. John's just sitting over at watching NFL Network right now. Obviously, he flew over here, and we're getting set to go. But first, we got to get to, obviously, Tater Tot hot take. But we got to get our Minnesota fill. But then Infinity rankings. We got Infinity rankings. And I think Gruden's going to give his rankings with this as well. They're going to be very interesting, not only for the zoners, but for you, Voldy, as well. So, hey, let's get things rolling because I think, it's time for a segment that we all know, we all love. It's time for some Tater Tot hot take.
Fresh out of the oven, it's Tater Tot Hot Take.
All right, it's time for some Tater Tot hot take. Voldy, I was really hoping that we were talking about a Gophers win this week, but we are talking about a Gophers loss, unfortunately. Voldy, I mean, this didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. Obviously, I think a lot of people were right on the fact that the Gophers showed that defensively that they're going to go through some growing pains. Offensively, they looked okay. But Voldy, what are your thoughts first of all on the game? The Wolverines taking down our Gophers, as we say in the lower third here. Broken oars. What happened, Voldy?
Boy, it was a tough start. It was very interesting to see because of the fact that so much hype going into this. I was a little bit more excited for the fact that, maybe there was a stronger chance for the Gophers to have a win in this contest. But you look at the score, 49-24. Ugh, it was ugly, to say the least. This Joe Milton kid that they have for Michigan, I was getting a lot of vibes. A much taller, much more athletic, and a better passer than, remember Denard Robinson?
Oh, yeah.
Old Shoelace Robinson for Michigan. I was getting those vibes. Yes, the dreads out of the back of the helmet, too, was very reminiscent. But 15 for 22, 225 yards, 8 carries for 52 yards, and a score. I mean, come on. I mean, that was an impressive debut, to say the least. Joe's already saying that Ohio State's going to kill Michigan. Yes, we already know Buckeyes, top 3. One game into the season, they're already in the top 3. Yay, Big Ten whatsoever. Overall, I mean, the Gophers, it was a tough performance, but I mean, it just doesn't speak to the fact that obviously it's a fast turnaround because the Gophers already played, Friday night. That defense, like in Minnesota right now, there's going to be some growing pains right now.
They are. They really are going through some growing pains. And, Hunt's saying right here, can't win a football game if you don't have anyone on special teams that's healthy and doesn't have COVID. Agreed. Voldy can be the punter for the next couple weeks. Absolutely.
I've got the legs. Legs are good.
Hey, I mean, whatever works, right? But
I'll quick call up Coach Blanchard real quick and give me some punting tips away down to the U. Absolutely.
Coach Blanchard, we know will definitely help you out there, Voldy. Claps all around for that. What I want to bring up is the fact that I think we took them a little for granted. And the fact of the matter is that they weren't up to par with everything that Michigan has done. And honestly, you got to throw in a couple, obviously special teams, things like that. We get it. But Joe Milton was fantastic. 15 of 22, 225 yards, touchdown, 8 carries, 52. I mean, for goodness sake, where's the run defense? Skip's all about them drop kicks. You're darn right, yes, Skip is. You're darn right he is, Seymour. And the fact of the matter is that they defensively, I think even Seymour even said here too, that, there's 8 new starters on defense, and it showed.
Yep.
I mean, you got to be able to stop the other team. That's the thing. You got to stop them from scoring points. Michigan just put up 49 at home. I don't care if there's no fans there. I'm just saying, if you're at home, that should kind of feel like you still have an advantage, but not as big of an advantage if there were fans, per se. It was a bummer that they lost, yeah, of course. But, I think one thing that we got to understand, too, is that, Tanner Morgan wasn't half that bad. He had 18 of 31, 197, touchdown, only 1 interception. But Ibrahim, 26 carries, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got to love it. So there's that. It showed that losing your field coach is hurting right now. And it is. Yeah, and I think they played off of that. And obviously, Harbaugh, as much as we rip Harbaugh, Voldy, the thing is that they came ready to play. Gophers, again, they didn't. That's just how it is. And, like Metz was saying before, that's just Minnesota sports in a nutshell, right? And obviously you got Agent Zero. He got 9 receptions, 101 yards. Obviously that's a good sign as well. So, but the Gophers, they take on Maryland coming up here, Voldy. And, I think this is a good bounce-back game for them. I think they'll win. So what are your thoughts? What do you think the Gophers need to do to beat Maryland here coming up?
I mean, it's not going to be a cakewalk with Maryland. 2 years ago, the Gophers went to Maryland and they got shown 42-10 or something down over there. Gophers bounce right back with, a 52-10 win at TCF Bank Stadium. I'm not going to take Maryland for granted at all. Gophers winning 6 games, Joe says. Absolutely. I've got that right in line with that, too. Honestly, looking at, the Gophers got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. That's the big thing. You got to hang on to the football as well. Special teams got to tighten things up a little bit on that side, but it has to be the prospect of controlling the tempo throughout. You hang on to the football, you control the line of scrimmage. It's going to be an easy contest for the Gophers. Let's just hope it plays out. It doesn't give Maryland any opportunity to capitalize off turnovers.
And I think this is, one thing that I want to mention too. I think this is a big test for PJ Fleck. What are you guys going to do coming off a loss like that? And the fact of the matter is that a lot of our zoners have been chiming in here. This is fantastic. For one, I want to mention Gophers' former OC didn't start on the right foot against Indiana last week.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. Special teams, here's Cole Munson. Special teams played a huge part too. Kickers and punters were awful. That's the thing, is that special teams does matter. That's the thing. And
tell that to the NFL, though.
Yeah, tell that to the NFL, like you were saying. Yeah, absolutely. half of the offensive line being out doesn't help either. I was going to mention that too. I mean, Falele and all those guys, when I saw those guys out, I was like, not good. Blaze Andrews, there's another guy that's on that line as a beast as well. But it's you're right on that, Hunts. Maryland head coach Mike Locksley has never had a winning record as a head coach. Well,
go back to the Big East.
Get back to the practice squad. Well, throwing that in there as well.
When I think Big Ten football, I'm thinking of powerhouses. I'm thinking Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Maryland. I'm thinking what other teams that joined the Big Ten that are just cast-offs from other leagues as well. Go back to your old conferences for Pete's sake.
Yeah, and then, Hunt Springs, all this is COVID related too. This is 2020 new challenges, and that's true too. They're trying to adjust, and it's tough. It's been tough. So there's that. I think this guy works with us. I think the Kerf Doctor is his name.
Kerf Doctor.
Whose growing pains are worse, Gophers or Vikes? Vikes, big time, because we've only gotten one game so far. Appreciate the comment there, Kerf Doctor. And also, he put together that Gruden image, so claps out to the Kerf Doctor, so we appreciate that. But anyway, it's 100% the Vikings, at this point. Sorry, Voldy, this isn't the SEC. It's not the powerhouse. Ooh.
It's called sarcasm, Huntley. Look it up.
This is all we do.
Definition of face to, palm to face. Idiot. God.
We love having fun here on MinneZona Sports Live, so don't let this distract you from here's Mets. Don't let this distract you from the fact that the Rutgers won their first Big Ten game since 2017. Oh my God.
Another Big Ten stalwart, Rutgers. Come on.
Rutgers. They haven't been relevant since 2009 maybe?
Right.
Which SEC school would you compare Minnesota to in terms of history?
Kentucky.
Yeah. Obviously
you
basketball-wise.
You think basketball. You think Minnesota, well, you don't think football right off the bat unless the time of year. I think Minnesota, I think hockey right off the bat. So, that's just – Tennessee's also a good one. Nick Vandenplas just posted that. Yep, Tennessee's also one of those. Maybe a Mississippi State,
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think Nick's right on point with it too. But maybe even the University of Dayton, John. Oh no, he didn't hear me. All right, Tennessee, Hunt's right on the money with that as well. So the big thing is that the Gophers got to come out against Maryland and just punch them right in the mouth. And obviously, I say that. Obviously they're not going to go up and smack them right in the mouth. Sarcasm. But at the same time, too, they got to come out firing. They got to just say, we're better than this team. Let's go out there. Let's score a bunch of points. Let's do it. Seymour says, I was going to say South Carolina. That's not bad, Seymour. That's not bad.
Not a bad one either.
That's not a bad one. Losses to their rivals every year for years. Yeah, that's true. That's true for Tennessee, I believe. Hunt is talking.
Oh, true.
So, I think that's kind of the big thing. And, Voldy, I think, if the Gophers can bounce back. And I think this is going to be a true test for PJ Fleck. So, without further ado, let's move on to our next topic. Obviously, we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings. They take on the Green Bay Packers. Okay. And the last time that the Vikings took on the Green Bay Packers, it was a shootout, but obviously it was a blowout before that. Voldy, like the lower third says, is there even a chance for the Vikings to win this game, for goodness sake? Is there even a hope? Obviously now Cam Dantzler's on the COVID reserve list. A lot of our secondary's banged up. Is there even a chance?
Well, 0% is still a chance. So, yes, there's a chance. The Green Bay Packers could fall into a sinkhole tomorrow, and there still would be zero chance that the Vikings would get a win. And the year is gone for them. And especially the fact, you throw in the fact that, they just let Cam Dantzler's on the COVID list. Pat Elflein came off the IR and got pulled right then and there. We're signing guys off the street. Practice squad's looking better and better each week on the scout team in practice, looking like, a top 5 offense the scout team is against the Vikings. I mean, it's just, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough one to watch, but by golly, still going to watch it, and it's not going to be pretty. So 0% is still a chance. So, I mean, that's what I say.
Well, there's that. There's something that we can hang our hat on at least, right? I guess from me, I think it comes down to a lot of things. The one thing is that you are at Lambeau. Rodgers gets kidnapped? Maybe, I don't know. Who's gonna figure that out? But the one thing that they have to do, obviously in Green Bay, is hopefully Dalvin's good to go. If Dalvin's not good to go, they're not winning that game.
He was a full participant in practice today, so that's a good start on a Wednesday too. So
that's really good, and I kind of knew that would be the case to start off. So with Dalvin being able to go, that will help big time. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen's been really good against the Green Bay Packers as well. But again, they gotta pass protect. They're going to have to end up passing the ball at some point, too, because the fact of the matter is we got to keep Rodgers off the field. Yep. And that's the key in this game. You got to keep Rodgers off the field. That's the only way that they'll have a chance is to limit, make sure that, Green Bay's not getting the ball as much. You can't turn over the ball, so we got to think about that. Your buddy Gruden did beat KC in KC, so there's always a chance. That's a good point, and I think John's going to talk about that in a little bit. But the fact of the matter is that I have to pick against them, and I hate to do it because a lot of zoners are like, "Well, where's your Lewis? Where's your Lewis?" It's like I'm just going based off of how these teams look, and the Packers look better than the Vikings right now. There's a reason why the Vikings are 1-5. I mean, it's that simple. Let's see. Joe says, did Kirk Cousins die? No chance then.
Still no chance.
Oh my goodness. We got don't let Rodgers smile. Don't let Rodgers smile. Get him sulking. Yes. And the thing is actually when he gets really frustrated, he plays terrible. I mean, he gets all up in arms and whatnot. So if we can get him frustrated, then we'll see what happens. But we're gonna have to see the Vikings. I believe that any given Sunday, and like Cole mentioned too. I mean, I could be completely wrong, and usually a lot of my predictions are wrong. A lot of everyone's predictions are wrong too. So if the Vikings go out there and show, hey, we can start going on a streak here. I mean, Kyle Rudolph, I just got an update saying that, we can do what we did back when we were 2-2 and then went 13-3. But I'm not saying that they're going to go that far. I'm just saying to give them a little bit more confidence going into this game is kind of the big thing. Your loyalty is still with the Vikings if you pick them to lose. It's better for them at this point. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. All right, last thing, or a couple more things here, excuse me. How about Rodgers defending Zimmer, saying it's ridiculous that he is on the hot seat? I like that question because I was about to bring it up. Rodgers, and here's the thing, for Rodgers to say that is actually really cool. I feel like he respects Zim. And the thing is a lot of Vikings fans do not respect Zim. They should respect him after what all he's done. Well, he hasn't done this. He hasn't done this. Yeah, he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. Not saying that he's the best coach or anything like that, because I feel like Zim's he's down in a tier, that he's been through it all. He's coached, he knows what he's doing. But the fact of the matter is that, there's some discrepancies with him, too. I even admit that. Lazard did practice today. Okay, well, good for Lazard, I guess, then, Mets. No.
Good for Eddie Lazard. I think that's his name.
Or Alan Lazard, I think.
Eddie, Alan, Ricky, Bobby, Tito, Ricky, Martin. I don't give a crap.
Yeah. Zimmer is elite. Spielman is why we suck. Well, I don't want to. Spielman's had some hits. Spielman's had some misses. And that's kind of the one thing that we have to understand here is that I'm a big Slick Rick guy. I'm not going to lie. I do like Slick Rick. I do like Zim. But the fact of the matter is you can't always, hit on, a lot of these draft picks, and as well as some of these guys that they bring in too. So, I mean, GMs, it's a tough job. It's not easy. Kenny Stills possible to Green Bay in a trade. Oh, great.
Come on.
Can we not have that happen? How about that? So there's that. But, I'll ask the zoners, what do you guys think? Do you guys got score predictions? Do you guys, you got the Vikings? If someone's got the Vikings, I applaud you. I really do. But I got the Packers in this one. Voldy, I assume you got the Packers as well?
Unfortunately, I do, yes.
So, and then also, with Stuffage coming up here saying third most wins in Minnesota as a head coach. He's just throwing that out there, folks.
Still miles away from Bud Grant, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah, because Bud's a
Who's
legend.
second? That's my question. Probably Denny,
Green? Yeah, Denny.
Denny Green, probably.
Denny, yeah. 32-9 Packers. Wow, that's an interesting score, Joe. That's a very interesting score. But hey, that is.
Hope Dan Bailey gets me some points in the old fantasy team this week.
Yeah, and then another thing here too. How about Griffin back in the NFC North? And have to see him twice this year. Well, Ev hasn't had the most success with the Cowboys, but I feel like in Detroit, hopefully he does well. Hopefully he doesn't do well against the Vikings. That's just me. But, we love Ev here on MinneZona Sports Live. We'll always love Everson Griffin. Maybe we'll get him on the show. You never know.
Goes to a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, Patricia.
Matt Patricia. Love it. It's going to be a great reboot for him, I think.
I think so, too. All right, Stuffage has got Packers 34, Vikings 23. That's a pretty good score. It's a pretty good score, I'd say. All right, and then we got Cole, 42-24 Pack. Yep. That sounds about right as well. I think again, too, it's going to be, with all these corners out and things like that, it's going to be tough for them to even cover these guys if... It might be a lost cause, but we kind of knew that coming in because, again, if you lose to an 0-5 team, that's what happens. But that's just us. But, yeah, I got the Pack in this one, unfortunately. I hate to do it, and, we'll just have to see where it goes from there. How about Stephen Gilmore on the trade block, Voldy? Before we move on, what do you think about that?
Can we trade Cam Newton, get it over with?
Trade Cam Newton to get it over with.
If they get rid of Steph Gilmore, obviously the fact that they've got a lot of money invested in him, obviously Defensive Player of the Year, and, he's the big reason why that defense has been the way that it has the last couple of years, besides the fact that everybody just up and went to either Miami or to Detroit this past offseason, if you're a New England Patriot last year. But he gets traded, well, we probably won't be talking about the Patriots too much more very often. So
I know a team that might need a cornerback.
You think?
Yeah. So just throwing that out there. All right.
Although he would look good in purple.
Yeah, he would. He would. So, but I don't know. A lot of people might nominate us for absurd statement on that one. But hey, I got some thumbs up from that one. So okay, let's I'm just saying. We'll see. All right, Voldy. We got to move on to Infinity Rankings because Gruden's been sitting over here and he's been waiting to get it rolling here. Actually, I don't know where he went. He probably got lost or something, so I better go get him. Trevor Lawrence to New England. If Voldy wants it, he'll take it, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Bill Belichick's going to still find a way to trade out of the first round, so Trevor Lawrence might be a third, fourth round pick. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to some Infinity Rankings.
Oh, boy.
While many have power rankings, none have captured them all. It's time for Matty C's Infinity Rankings.
All right, Voldy, it's time for Infinity Rankings. But before we get started, I got to go find our good friend, John Gruden here. He flew in from Las Vegas. He's feeling pretty tired. I better go find him. So, Voldy, do you want to enlighten the zoners on what we're doing on Facebook and how close we are to 400 likes? I mean, why don't you talk about that for us real quick?
Yeah, so we're still about 5 likes away from reaching to 400. So if you know us, we've got the merch that goes along here with the show, and we're going to throw in a free t-shirt to whoever is that 400th like here on our Facebook page. And invite your friends, let everybody know that what we've got going on. We're just about 5 likes away. I know that we went through a bit of a spree as of late with the likes and the comments and the shares. So be sure to invite your friends. Let them know that in this T-shirt giveaway. And, well, if you already got your shirt, you're doing great in the first place. So hopefully, that we can get that 400th like here before the end of the weekend. If we're lucky enough, maybe we can get it before the end of the show. We'll see what happens. Just, we've got that going on. Be sure to follow us on the social medias, and we'll let you know if and when we get that 400th like on our Facebook page, and be able to make sure that we can give that T-shirt away, because we've got plenty of them. We want to be sure that we can give away a shirt for everybody. I think we're just about ready to go here with Infinity Rankings. I don't know if our guest. Hey, there he is.
Hey,
There's the man
Shield.
himself.
Shield, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to be back here on MinneZona Sports Live, man. I tell you what, man. I've watched every single episode of this show, man. And I tell you what, you guys got some hot takes. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, if I were the coach of the Minnesota Vikings, which, again, I tell you what, man. I love me some Zim. But hey, if the Raiders let me go, who knows? We'll see what happens. So what's been going on, man? We got some Infinity Rankings to get to, right, man?
That we do. I think we're doing a Week 8 Power Rankings. See who we've got here, what DJ Matty C's got for us. I haven't seen him. I don't think you've seen him yet, Coach.
No. The thing is, Shield, is that we got a lot of cool Infinity Rankings, man. Okay, you want to check them out here, obviously. Let's take a look, man. Number 1, we got the Las Vegas Raiders, man. I tell you what, I just want to say one thing. The reason why the Raiders are number 1 is because of none other than DJ Matty C. You know why? Because he knows what the Raiders are, man. Okay? He knows that the Las Vegas Raiders are the number 1 team, number 2 team, number 3 team, number 4 team, number 5 team, all right? Now, the thing is that, what, you're thinking, White, you can't have all these guys on there, man. I mean, come on. You can't. But we're that good, man. We beat the Kansas City Chiefs there, Shield. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic, and I love it. Okay, so let's go back to my Infinity Ranking, Shield. How does this stuff work? I don't even know, man. All right, we got the Raiders at number 2. So this is dimension number 2, Shield, because the Raiders are number 1 in that dimension. You got number 3. We got the Las Vegas Raiders, again, in dimension 3, dimension 4, dimension 5. But hey, you know what, Shield? I got something for you. At number 6, okay, obviously we just played this team, man. We just played this team, all right? And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, all right, man? This is my Super Bowl ring. This might say ST on it, but this is my Super Bowl ring, man. But hey, that's the fact of the matter is the Raiders might be going all the way, man. I see a lot of the zoners chiming in here, so let's take a look at what's going on. DJ Matty C, can you? Oh, okay. No, he's busy. I guess I'll figure it out myself, man. All right.
Don't break nothing, Coach. Please don't break anything.
Okay. Let's get Voldy to his dream of being a bullpen catcher. I don't know what the hell that is, man.
Let's make this happen.
Well, we can make it happen, I guess, apparently, man. All right. Raiders are number 1 because of they run Spider 2Y Banana. I tell you what, man. That Nick Vandeplas knows what he's talking about, man. I love me some Nick Vandeplas. Go Bucs for him. But, even though we got smoked last week, hey, we don't want to talk about that, man. All right, moving on to the next one here, man. And then got blasted the next week. Well, guess what? Cole Munson, you probably got blasted last weekend. So you know what? I don't give a rat's ass what the hell you think, man. Because, I'm getting, I don't know. I got to stop swearing, man. This is just too much for me.
This is a family show, Coach. Come on now.
But have you seen Hard Knocks there, Shield?
It's been a couple of years, but yes, I've seen enough clips on the YouTube, and you're mic'd up on the sidelines. I know you get a little bit salty with the language.
Oh, I get a little salty, Shield. I tell you what. The thing is I get a little more salty than Zim. I'm not going to lie. And DJ Matty C tells me that all the time, man. Dang right I did. Well, guess what? Yeah, that's about... I figured there, Mr. Munson. All right, let's see. Coach, give Jacobs the ball more. Need more fantasy points, I'd assume. Well, that's the thing there, Zach. We're trying to run the ball, but when you're running Spider 2Y Banana, you can't get enough of it, man. I tell you what, it's just fantastic. Cole Munson, you aren't a Gruden gridiron, man. Yeah, you're not a Gruden grinder, man. I tell you what.
There it is.
You're not a
Gruden
grinder. All right? If you were a Gruden grinder, man, you'd know. Okay? And the fact of the matter is that we got a big game against the Cleveland Browns coming up, man. And I tell you what, we're going to kick some ass, man. I'm telling you. We got Josh Jacobs. We got Derek Carr. We got Antonio Brown. Wait, oh, no, he's not on He's on the Bucs. Never mind, man. We let go of him. That's right. But the thing is that we're going to kick some butt. They're out OBJ. We got Jarvis Landry. We're going to lock him up, man. And then they got Kareem Hunt. Guess what? We're going to lock him up as well, man. We're going to be just fine. Defense is going to be fantastic. And I also want to mention, we beat the Aints, okay? DJ Matty C hates the Aints. We already knew that, man. But the fact of the matter is that we're going to kick some tail this week and watch for the Raiders winning another Super Bowl ring, man. I got a good QB for you next year to draft. Kyle Trask out of Florida. Well, I'll tell you what, man.
There you go.
He's got to come to Gruden's quarterback camp, man. He's got to come to my camp, and you know what, Shield? He's going to come to my camp. He's going to be probably one of the best quarterbacks out there, man. That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to get this going, man. But, Shield, you got anything for good old Coach? What do you got for me?
Coach, obviously, it's been a very interesting last couple of years. Of course, you go from Oakland to Vegas. I mean, how's the weather out in Vegas nowadays?
Oh, Shield. It's fantastic, man. And I tell you what, the weather's fantastic, okay? And it's I will say it sucks. It kind of sucks that we're not in Oakland anymore. Because I loved Oakland, man. I mean, shoot, I used to coach there for how long? And then we moved to Las Vegas, and we get this brand new spanking stadium, man. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Shield, I just love being on MinneZona Sports Live. DJ Matty C, you know what, Shield? I believe your dad, Jimbo, got me something. And you know what? I might wear it this Sunday. I don't know, man. We got a MinneZona Sports Live t-shirt,
look at
man.
That.
Got a MinneZona Sports Live t-shirt, all right? DJ Matty, I got to get it for my guys, man. I tell you what. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Well, anyway, Shield, good old Coach has got to head out here. I think all DJ Matty C wants his segment back, even though I took it over for him, man. Okay, all the zoners, we love you so much, all right? Just remember. Okay? Knock on wood if you're with me, all right, man? Knock on wood if you're with me. Let's get it rolling. All right? Shield, I'll talk to you later, man. And go Raiders, all right? Let's go Raiders.
Absolutely, Coach. Appreciate you flying in for this. I really do. That's awesome. Coach John Gruden, everybody. How fantastic was that? He's got his shirt. I don't know why you guys don't have yours. If you're waiting to be the 400th like, well, you're probably going to miss it. So, with that being said, be sure to get your shirts. MinneZona Sports Live, $20 for a shirt, $5 shipping. Contact me, Kerf Doctor, DJ Matty C, Jimbo as well. You can reach out to Coach Gruden if you want to. He's got his shirt. And if you try to wait to be the 400th like that we're going to be giving away a free shirt for, well, it might be a little tough to do that as well. But how awesome was that? We got Coach John Gruden to come on the show.
Yeah.
I think we got DJ Matty C back in the wins here.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is all of a sudden, he just kind of storms in here. It's like, all right, I got this, man. And obviously I was like, okay, John. He goes, hey, that doesn't sound anything like me, man. But, again, whatever. I mean, we love Coach. But looks like a lot of zoners chimed in, Voldy. Tiger wants another championship coach. He's got 2 this year and wants that 3rd. He might get it. I mean, he honestly might get it. So I'm sure Coach would be in. He had to catch a flight. He had to head out of here. But
yep, he did.
He just ate everything in my pantry. So I don't know what the hell. I mean, who he thinks he is. But I'm fine with it. We love Coach. All right, so Voldy, let's get to my Infinity rankings. But it seems like Gruden picked the Raiders for every single one. Interesting.
Except for the last one.
Except for the last one with the Buccaneers. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, I guess. Anyway. Let's move on to my Infinity rankings, and boom! Here's what we got. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to start with number 6, the Green Bay Packers, okay? Why do I have the Green Bay Packers at 6, Shield? Well, the fact of the matter is that Green Bay's done a good job, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, they kicked some butt against them, okay?
Right.
And, Gruden was just talking about it before he left. He's like, I tell you what, man, those Buccaneers are getting better, especially with Antonio Brown coming back, man. But, again, it's the Packers are still a really good team, and I have to admit it. Nick's like, 3? Well, we're going to get there. Okay? But yeah, number 3. I mean, it's actually not that bad. I mean, I don't know what anyone's complaining about. Number 3 is not bad. All right, moving on to number 5, the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, why do I have the Seahawks at 5 now? Well, they dropped big time, and the fact of the matter is that they don't have a defense. I mean, their defense has been terrible. The Vikings are scoring on them and things like that. But I mean, Russell Wilson, I mean, good Lord, he's the whole team. DK Metcalf. Did you see how fast he ran to take down Buda Baker? I mean, holy moly. That dude is a beast. So, but yeah, they're at 5. I have them a little ahead of the Packers because, well, I can. So there's that. Moving on to our next team, the Baltimore Ravens. And I think, a lot of people got to put respect on their name. And the fact of the matter is that they're a good team. Lamar's been fantastic. They've been able to run the ball. They've bounced back after, a tough loss that they had recently. And then trading for Dunlap is going to really help the pass rush. It will. Put DK at linebacker. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he could do it.
He could
definitely do it, for sure.
He could honestly do it. But, yeah, DK and guys like that with the Seahawks and then, the Baltimore Lamar, and I think, that defense is pretty doggone. Marlon Humphrey's been fantastic, in the secondary. And the Ravens are a team to be reckoned with there. All right, moving on to number 3. Voldy, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gronk, TFB. You got Mike Evans. I mean, Godwin's hurt a little bit, but you have Tyler Johnson. You have Scotty Miller. Their defense has been fantastic so far, too. I mean, losing Vita Vea, I thought Vea would be a tough, blow for them, but they've been managing quite well. Todd Bowles has done a fantastic job with that defense, and so I give them claps for sure defensively. But the reason why they're at number 3 is, well, they do have 2 losses. We all have to remember that, too. They lost to the Bears, obviously, and they lost to the Aints. But, again, they're starting to hit their stride. It was going to take them a little bit, but now, hey, watch out. Tennessee has to be, tied with Green Bay, right? Yeah. Yeah, I would say. And they did give, Tennessee some fits towards the end of the game, but I don't know. I just got to put respect, I got to give credit where credit's due for the Green Bay Packers. I have to. But the fact that they were able to do really well it sucks. It sucks. But you know what? That's just how it is. All right, moving on to number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers. That defense, I'm telling you right now, TJ Watt, Casey Hayward, those guys, their front line has been, Bud Dupree, they've been fantastic defensively. And Big Ben's been on fire. Juju's been, who the heck is Chase Claypool for one? He's been really good.
Notre Dame, baby.
Notre
Fighting
Dame.
Irish.
The Fighting Irish, yeah. But, I mean, they've been able to do a lot of cool things. They beat the Tennessee Titans, for one. And the Titans are supposed to be one of the best teams. They still are, but, I mean, they definitely are a team to be reckoned with. That's why they're up at number 2. And, you know, I think defense wins championships. They have an offense and they have a defense, and that's scary, okay? All right, moving on to number 1. It's Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you can't take down the champs just yet from the number 1 spot, even though they lost to Gruden's Raiders, man. So the fact, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, I mean, they walloped the Broncos, and you know that I think you can't just say, well, they're gonna fall off. No, they're not gonna fall off. They just added Le'Veon Bell, for God's sake. I mean, think about that, okay? Think about that for a second. So, those are my 6 teams. Voldy, what are your thoughts? Zoners, what are your thoughts as well?
You know, I don't have a whole lot of problems with the top 3. Obviously, those guys are up there. Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay. It's the bottom 3 that I have a little exception to.
Okay.
I don't think Baltimore is better than Green Bay. No, I should say Baltimore is definitely not better than Seattle. Seattle's hit a couple of bumps in the road, but it's the wild NFC West. It changes week to week who's going to be the best team. Obviously, Seattle got to a hot start. Arizona knocked off the Seahawks last week. And, you know, San Francisco is trying to make up its mind if it wants to suck or if it wants to be good or not. And you just can't count out anybody. The Rams, let's not forget about the Rams were just 2 years removed from a Super Bowl, and they've just completely fallen off to the wayside. But obviously the number 6 spot is where you get that 3-headed monster, Green Bay, Tennessee, and I'm throwing Buffalo back in the mix again as well. Yes, they've hit a couple of bumps in the road. Josh Allen's been playing a freak of a season that it has been with a bunch of, obviously you got, you know, Stephon Diggs, but other than that, he's got nobody up there, and he's making it look good. Sean McDermott, you got Leslie Frazier revamping his defensive coordinator skills with that no-name defense that's been able to put up something as well. Like Huntley's been saying, too. I mean, Arizona's really good right now. They're a hot team. I'd throw them in the mix of that number 6 spot, maybe at like 6.85, you know, on the, out of a 7 maybe. Then you throw in, you know, Tennessee, you throw in Buffalo. Green Bay, 5 or 6 in that range right there, the way they've been showing up. I just don't think Baltimore is better than Seattle. I don't know what it is. For some reason, it's not the same Baltimore team that it has been since last season. Obviously, there's a big drop-off in that area, but, I mean, that's my opinion. I definitely agree. Kansas City, Pittsburgh, then you go Tampa Bay. I would put Seattle at 4. Then you put Baltimore at 5, then keep Green Bay at 6.
And, you know, honestly, I can't really dispute that too much because Baltimore's got a tough test this week. They play the Steelers, okay? Yeah. And the thing is, they could easily drop off the Infinity rankings here really soon, too. But, again, it's one of those things with the Ravens is that, I mean, Lamar is so dangerous. He's very dangerous. And, yes, have they fallen off a little bit? Sure, they have. But I feel like they have a lot of, I mean, Hollywood Brown. I mean, that guy has been fantastic for them. He's made plays. And, you know, Ingram and J.K. Dobbins, I think, need to get going a little bit more, too. But, you know, Baltimore, if Baltimore loses this one, yeah, you can start questioning, like, big time if they're going to do anything, for one. So I think, no, you're not wrong on that, Shield. So we just got to keep our eye on it and see where it goes. But just want to throw this up one more time just so people can see it too. So the Chiefs, Steelers, Bucs, Ravens, Seahawks, and Green Bay Packers. Okay, and a lot of people are saying, why do you have the Packers? And honestly, Hunt's was not wrong about the Arizona thing because Arizona has played really well, and Kyler Murray's been fantastic. DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, the thing is they lost Kenyon Drake for a little bit now, so Chase Edmonds has to step up too. But yeah, you can't throw Arizona out. You know, they're probably top 10, 100% top 10. The Bills, what Josh Allen are you going to get? I mean, you know, they go against the Chiefs, and things like that. So what Josh Allen are you going to get? That's kind of the big thing. And has he done well with Diggs? Sure, he's done fantastic with Diggs. But, hey, if they shut down Diggs, what's going to happen? The Madden curse might take down Baltimore. Yeah, the thing is
Very
I think
true.
that might still be a thing now. So it's kind of one thing we got to figure out as well with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. So, but I believe that's going to do it for Infinity Rankings. We thank Coach Gruden for coming on. Obviously, he's a big fan of the show, and he loves MinneZona. And, we're going to have more guests on here. That's the thing. And we have a lot of them. We have a lot of characters, too. So we're going to have a lot of fun guys on here. So, but anyway, Voldy, I think it's time for everybody's favorite segment, your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everybody's favorite segment. It's time for Absurd or Approved.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Absurd or Approved.
All right, so Voldy, we got a lot to get through with Absurd or Approved, so why don't you rattle them off for us, please?
All right, it came through the grapevine less than a week ago that the NHL starting off with the couple of postponements for the 2020-21 season, announcing they have postponed the 2021 Winter Classic and the All-Star Game due to ongoing uncertainty resulting from the coronavirus. So, of course, who's hosting the Winter Classic this year? Minnesota. Target Field, Minneapolis, Wild versus St. Louis. The Florida Panthers were set to host the All-Star Game January 29th through the 30th. Of course, the Winter Classic, New Year's Day at Target Field. Looking over at everything, once again, Minnesota sports gets the shaft. And, of course, just so happens to be the one time it'll probably ever happen that Minnesota gets to host the Winter Classic. Yes, he had the Stadium Series game, but that's fine. That was 6 years ago. No, that was 4 years ago. Excuse me. It was in 2016. Absurd or Approved, the NHL already canceling and postponing the Winter Classic and the All-Star Game.
I think it's absurd. The reason why I think it's absurd is because COVID-19's ruined everything. And, I'm not going to go into the politics of why and everything like that, but honestly, it's taking away some fun, things. And, of course, this happens to none other than Minnesota, okay? And they're hosting, for goodness sake. I mean, why can't we have anything that's good and fun and we all look forward to? No, we can't get that because it's Corona, it's 2020. It's just how things have been going. I understand why they did it. I get why they did that. But can't we have anything nice? Can't we just have something to where we're like, oh, I'm really looking forward to that. Why can't they just have no fans? Why can't they, do this? So I guess from my perspective, I just think it's a little absurd that there's no... There's no end to this stupid thing, and, obviously everyone wants this to be done, but it's not going to be done because we don't have a vaccine, we don't have this, we don't have that, but I guess we have to wait a year. Maybe the team will even be better then. Hey, you never know. So Hunts might have a point there. So, Voldy, what do you think?
Why does professional sports hate Minnesota so much? You can throw out COVID. You can throw out everything going on with civil unrest in the entire world. Why do professional sports organizations completely hate Minnesota for some reason? If this game was going on in Washington, Pittsburgh, or Chicago for the 582nd time the Blackhawks would play in the Winter Classic, this game would still be going on. Mark my words, Gary Bettman is a money man.
Yeah.
He wants his money as much as possible. Yes, St. Louis and the Wild would be playing. St. Louis coming off a Stanley Cup last year, not this past season, but the year before. Obviously not going to be as big of a draw it was in the old TV industry as it would be, say, Chicago and the Capitals a few years ago or something like that.
Right.
I think it's completely absurd. We don't know the entire statement of the fact that obviously the league's probably not even going to start on January 1st. If they were going to go on or around January 1st, it would be pretty close. And, of course, that being the first game of the year, you want to have a quality matchup in the Winter Classic. And, of course, if that was the first game of the year, probably wouldn't be a very good one overall. It's completely absurd, the fact that the Wild probably won't be able to host the Winter Classic this year. Who knows, maybe a couple years down the road or next year as well. But, I mean, I don't even know anymore. It's absurd. We got to move on to the next one.
Yeah, we're just going to leave it like that. But, again, it's the thing is I understand with COVID and everything like that. I mean, I get that. But still, it's just like, come on, man. It's just crazy. All right, next one, Voldy.
Yeah, we go back to Minnesota once again, and lo and behold, Minnesota Timberwolves still don't know what they're doing with themselves. And it just comes in as a report, looks like a week ago, that Timberwolves still don't know who they're going with with the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
They have no idea who's a can't-miss guy with the second time that they're going to be picking the number 1 overall pick. And even Garrison Rosas was going on record saying he has no idea who he's going to pick less than a month away. Now we're about 3 weeks away from the NBA draft, which is on November 18th. Absurd or approve the fact that the Timberwolves still don't know who they're going with?
I think of this as a smokescreen. And I think they know, where they're going. But honestly, they can go so many ways with this. They could trade down. They could trade up. They could do this. They could do that. They could draft Toppin. They could drop LaMelo. They could do anything they want at number 1. Okay. Now, I think Rosas even said, I think he was quoted by saying, hey, look, we're going to, yeah, it's true. There's no really true number 1. And, like literally what I just said, Hunt's no true number 1. They are trying to trade another big player to pair with Cat and Russell. Exactly. That's what they're trying to do, and I agree with that. Wait, Minnesota has a professional basketball team? Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta understand too that you gotta be careful who you tell that to, especially our guy Will Rattel. But still, no. Anyway, but yeah, I know the Wolves have been terrible, blah blah blah. But the fact that they add the number 1 pick, I feel like we have to look at this in a positive light and say, hey, look, they can do whatever the heck they want with this number 1 pick. D'Lo and Cat, and if they pair another, I think they even said they're in win now mode, and which is, I mean, it's Minnesota sports. I understand that, obviously, what can go wrong will go wrong at some point, but we all have to stay a little bit positive from the fact that they have a lot of options at the number 1 pick. They could trade down to get their guy, things like that. So, I feel like they're putting up a smoke screen, so I guess I give them my stamp of approval because there's no number 1 that's out there that you can go and say, I want that guy, I want that guy, things like that. But I mean, it's frustrating to the fact that they don't know, and there's no true number 1. There really isn't. And, Hunt said it before, too. So it's got my stamp of approval. Voldy, what do you think?
The fact that you said Minnesota Timberwolves in positive light in the same sentence is probably something that hasn't been said since the fact that the Timberwolves were probably first introduced in the NBA. The Timberwolves have an interesting dilemma. They got the number 1 pick. They got the 17th and the 33rd draft picks. Because of how bad they've sucked the last couple of years. This, honestly, if you don't know who you're going with, it's probably going to have to be a trade situation.
Yeah.
All the emergency and all of the, the lights have been saying, oh, they gotta be able to, make a move and get Devin Booker out of Phoenix, out of Arizona.
Yeah.
You can do that, and you're going to have to give up a whole lot for it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Timberwolves went out and made a serious offer at Devin Booker. Number 1 pick, maybe take a second pick as well to throw in there. It's going to have to be some of the top-end guys that have been, up and coming for the Timberwolves last year. Probably a very unpopular opinion, but it's basketball. Doesn't exist in my mind. The fact that the Timberwolves still don't know what they're doing, yeah, it's probably a smokescreen because of the fact of how incompetent the entire franchise is as a whole. But, I mean, you got to have some sort of semblance of an idea.
Yeah.
You're 3 weeks away from the draft and you're saying you still don't know. Hopefully it's a smokescreen. I'd like to be
Hopefully.
proven wrong. I'm proven wrong on a daily basis. It's a little bit of proof that the Timberwolves don't know what they're doing just because it's the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it's true, and you're not wrong on that because we've seen a lot of bad picks, and the fact of the matter is that this is the Wolves we're talking about. 3 first-round picks, a second alongside Culver for Booker, too much.
Done. Send it through now.
I'd be fine with that. If you got Book,
Don't even
Cat,
think about it. Just
and
send
Russell.
it. Call up Harrison. Call up the GM for Phoenix. Send it through tonight before the end of the show. Done.
Boom. And also, Cat's doing pretty well. He's in the Bahamas. He's hanging out with Jordan Woods. He's doing just fine. Zach Huntley says, the problem is if we suck this year, Golden State has our first-round pick next year. Yeah, I know, but at the same time, it is what it is, whatever. Moving on, it's a smoke screen to trade it, and Cole knows this very well because he's a big Wolves guy. It's a smoke screen to trade it. Different teams want different people at the top, and if you can make a team think you are taking their guy, they're more than likely to make something happen. Stamp of approval right there, Cole.
All right.
I mean, we'll take it. We'll take it at this point. But yeah, I guess it's got my stamp of approval because I feel like they're weighing their options. They're trying to figure out how this is going to work, and it's Rosas has done a good job so far, so we just got to trust him. So we'll see what happens. All right, next one, Voldy, and I think it's got something to do with that jersey you're wearing, right?
Yep, it came through last night that the Los Angeles Dodgers clinched their 7th World Series title, winning game number 6, 3-1 last night, defeating the Tampa Bay Rays. And I did say that the Dodgers would win in 6 games. Just want to toot my own horn there for a second. But a little bit of some controversy as the Tampa Bay Rays were leading 1-0 through 5 innings so far, and then Tampa Bay Rays manager Kevin Cash decides to pull starter Blake Snell as he was dealing in his top half of the game. 5 1/3 scoreless innings, then the wheels started to fall apart. Brainerd's very own Nick Anderson came through and got through that inning. Throws a wild pitch, 1 run scores. The Dodgers are able to scratch across 2 more runs. Bullpen shuts it down. Series is over. Looking at the situation overall, Blake Snell was cruising through that first, half of the game. Gets pulled in the top of the 6th inning with 1 out. Not happy about the decision. After the game, he was saying that he was feeling really good. He was moving right along, getting through the heart of the order. And then all of a sudden, no. Kevin Cash says, nope, you're done. Out of here. Bullpen blows it. Absurd or approved, Kevin Cash pulling Blake Snell in Game 6 of the World Series.
Oh, it's absurd beyond belief. It's absurd beyond belief because you know what this reminds me of, Voldy? And I think the zoners know where I'm going with this too, is that the sabermetrics and all this stuff that they talk about, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Nope. And Cash, again, it sounds like he's a good guy and everything, but he made a mistake. You know who else made a mistake, too? Rocco Baldelli taking out Jose Barrios against the Astros. That was a mistake because he wanted to go out there and pitch and get this done. But the fact of the matter is that you're taking out a guy that's been doing really well. You just got to go with the momentum he's been having right now. Okay, but you're worried about, and apparently the relief pitcher, and correct me if I'm wrong, Voldy, the relief pitcher that they put in struggled mightily throughout the series, from what I understand.
For Nick Anderson, yes and no. He had, going into the series, he had been playing really well. Former teammate of Joe Clements, by the way, at St. Cloud State. Fun fact, by the way, old Nick Anderson, Minnesota homegrown kid. I mean, he had, like Huntley's saying, a record of 6 straight appearances without giving up a single run. He was pitching pretty good. That's what got him on the team and into the series as well. Kevin Cash has probably had a gut feeling, and his gut just didn't stick with him all that much. I mean, it's just unfortunate that it had to be Nick Anderson in that situation. The Dodgers were just out as soon as Snell got out of the game. They were sharks in the water, and they were smelling blood.
I mean, the comments. I'm just trying to keep up with everybody because I'm agreeing with everyone. Cash should have lost his job before he hit the bus. Well, I don't know if you'll go that far. I like this one especially right here, Voldy. When Callahan was on fire in intramural hoops, you just kept feeding the man. You're right. You're right. I was dipping dots, baby. I mean, Coach Bigler said, Voldy, remember we went and watched Date with Coach Bigler, and he was saying, I'd really like you to have him. I'm tooting my own horn. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, it was fun. Intramurals was fun. Moving on, Mets, not moving on to the next one because I still want to give my thoughts. Nothing boosts a team seeing the pitcher who's been dominating you get taken out. And all of a sudden, Mets is right on the money with this one. And you had your chance, and you blew it, as Voldy likes to say. And I'm agreeing with everybody. Absurd. There is no tomorrow for them. So let the hot hand pitch. Also, Maddie, you need another idiom besides the fact of the matter. I know, I really do. I just get too excited, I think, Ethan. But anyway, it's dumb. It's absurd beyond belief. And the thing is that this team goes by the saber match. So do the Twins. And that's, oh my gosh, it gives me a headache. It gives me a headache when this happens. But, these teams just don't understand. So, Voldy, I assume you think it's absurd as well.
Yeah, I just think of that situation. Obviously, the fact the numbers say one thing, but the gut says another. If Blake Snell said he was feeling fine, let him go. Obviously, you had a 1-0. Bats were chasing the ball all over the place and couldn't make contact. You had the Dodgers in a very compromising position. It was the top of the 6th inning. And, obviously it was not the right decision for the Rays. Looking back at it, I'm sure Kevin Cash is kicking himself because he doesn't have another chance to go after it.
Yeah.
Again, the Rays just straight moneyballed and sabermetric their way into the World Series on this 60-game season. And, obviously it got them that far. Just wasn't quite enough for them to get past the Dodgers as well. It's absurd that, Snell wasn't able to, finish the job himself. But at the end of the day, you make one decision. It can be the best decision or it can be the worst decision. Either way, it's a decision you have to live with.
Yeah, at this point, that's what he'll have to do. He's going to have to live with it. But, again, this is why you have to understand that this is baseball. You got to know what you're doing. The numbers are good to a point. They are used for long-term projections, but you have to be able to make split-second decisions in the moment. Exactly. And, that's the the thing of being a coach is that you got to be prepared for anything when this, comes out. Snell struck out the top 3 guys 6 times going into the 6th. That's just how it is. But, again, congratulations to the Dodgers, I thought they were going to go 7. Voldy, I think you're right on your prediction. They went 6, right?
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so, hey.
That's right.
There you go. So, the Los Angeles Dodgers are finally World Series champions. And, they spent a lot of money, too. So, I wonder if teams will understand how that works as well. Twins! Just throwing that out there. All right, next one, Voldy.
Well, the big news out of the week out of the National Football League saying that Tampa Bay Buccaneers go and get themselves a wide receiver. Wide receiver position's been banged up the last couple of weeks for them. So who do they go out and get? None other than Antonio Brown. Fresh off that 8-game suspension that was imposed last year by the NFL and going into week 9 against the New Orleans Saints. Well, it looks like Tom Brady's got an old target coming back. Antonio Brown is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer with a 1-year deal. DJ Matty C, is it absurd or approved AB to the Bucs?
Well, they're definitely taking a chance. That's for one. Antonio Brown. I'm glad Bruce Arians addressed the elephant in the room because if he has one slip-up, just one measly slip-up, he's gone. I hope he better follow through on his word. Bruce Arians better follow through on his word on this, because if Antonio starts getting mad at people and all of that, it's not going to be a long stay for Antonio Brown. He has to earn a lot of teams' respect. And I don't know what's going to happen after the season. We got to see how this plays out, because 1 minute Antonio will be just fine. He's on Twitter saying, "Oh, things are fine and dandy," but then the next second, it takes one thing to set him off, and he goes bananas everywhere, absolutely, positively everywhere. So you got to be very careful. Now, with Godwin breaking his finger recently, I think this is a perfect opportunity for AB to step up. Now, do I blame them for taking a chance? No, I don't. They're taking a chance because he is a good talent. He's very good. He used to be one of the best wide receivers in this league before he went crazy. Everyone was hating on the Bucs last week because Evans never got the ball. Going to be real hard to cover all those guys with AB. That's true. The thing is AB in shape? I mean, I feel like I haven't heard anything with AB right now.
No news is good news.
No news is good news. So hopefully that will turn out fine. So yeah, I guess it's got my stamp of approval because, they're taking a chance. Let's see what happens with it. But if he goes off the rails or something like that, he's got to go. But yeah, he's got Brady around too, like Lucas is saying right here. So, Voldy, what do you think?
I think this is a very interesting situation, especially the fact that Bruce Arians came out and said that that Antonio Brown's matured since, basically when he said there's no way possible that the Buccaneers are going to sign Antonio Brown. And he even came out and said, too, that Antonio Brown's an insurance policy. Absolutely. Mike Evans been hampered by the hamstring this year. Godwin just broke his hand. There. It's going to open up more opportunities. Last 2 weeks, Gronk's caught a couple of touchdowns. One last week, one the week before. Tyler Johnson's going to get another wide receiver that he can mentor off of as well. And you throw in, all those other guys, especially the running backs. You got Ronald Jones II. Leonard Fournette's finally started to come around as well. And you throw in all the other tight ends, Cameron Brate down there. And there's going to be a lot of good movement with that. And, even Arians went out and said, too, the fact that Mike Evans didn't get the ball last week, he was a little upset, but not to the point where he's trying to make it about himself. As long as the team keeps winning, that's the ultimate goal overall for the Buccaneers, to keep winning. Now they've bounced back with a couple of wins. Everybody's starting to get a little bit more comfortable with the offense. The line is starting to block better for Brady, too. Yeah. And, obviously it's got my stamp of approval that, Antonio Brown is back in the NFL. And this is going to be another crazy chapter to throw in for the ESPN 30 for 30 on Antonio Brown, of what's been going on for the last 2-3 years. This will be very interesting to see. Hopefully it'll last longer than a week it was last year when he was with the Patriots.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that we have to bring up too, is that, let's hope Antonio's got his head on straight. All right, a couple more here from the Zoners. Is Tyler Johnson going to have a job anymore? Seems like there isn't much room. That's a big question. And the thing is they have all these weapons. Who are you going to cover? If he has to come in, he's going to dominate because it's Tyler Johnson. It's the Fleck effect, baby. Do you think Des Bryant does anything in Baltimore? Maybe. I've seen some workout videos with him, and he's actually been doing pretty well. So,
he'll be on the sideline.
He'll be on the sideline.
And talking about Tyler Johnson, too, because at the end of the day, when it comes to if he's going to get on the field or not, that's Tom Brady's decision.
That is Tom Brady's decision.
Last 2 weeks, he's got a touchdown each game. The more comfortable Brady gets with a guy, the more he's going to want him on the field. So if Tyler Johnson and him are starting to click together, obviously he's going to get out there and he's going to start making plays with, Brady on the field. I think I don't know if it's definitely going to drop. Production's going to go down a little bit, start evening out overall for the team as well. But, if Antonio Brown's a smokescreen for Tyler Johnson, I don't think anybody's going to be mad about it from that whole perspective. Brady's going to be happy. Brown's going to be happy. It's all just going to be one big happy family down in Tampa Bay.
Let's hope so, because Antonio can screw if just one thing, and he will screw the whole thing up. Plus Scotty Miller, and they have a ton of weapons. Exactly, they do.
Exactly.
So, like we were just saying. All right, I believe this is the last one. Voldy.
Yeah, unfortunately, this past Sunday, the Cleveland Browns lost Odell Beckham Jr. to the injured reserve, and for the rest of the season, unfortunately, tearing his ACL in a move that he probably shouldn't have done in the first place, but he did. Was confirmed on Monday that OBJ goes the IR, DONE. That's done for all those who don't know how to spell out there. And, of course, this story brought to you by the letter F for what the frank is going on with OBJ in Cleveland. The guy hasn't done anything in Cleveland since he's been there except just make more and more noise.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very interesting situation. Now, this will be the second year in a row since coming to Cleveland that OBJ is going to have surgery. This is going to be a long recovery road for him. So, absurd or approved, the possibility of OBJ never suiting up in Cleveland again.
A lot of zoners are throwing this out there, and Baker went off without him. For some reason, I root for Baker. Well, that's fine. You can root for Baker, but...
Well, we already know that I'm rooting for Case Keenum, so...
Yeah, well, we already knew that. In your guys' opinion, where is he playing next year? Well, let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's kill two birds with one stone here. So, I think this might be, because I just don't think this is a good fit for Odell. And I do like Odell a lot. And a lot of people rip on him for his antics, and he's very passionate and things like that. Okay, Odell, I think, sometimes gets a little too hot-headed. And we'll probably throw Thielen to them for a second rounder.
The state would implode if the Vikings trade Adam Thielen.
Careful, Lucas. Careful. That's all I gotta say. But Odell, off the top of my head, if the season were to end right now, I could see none other than our good friend John Gruden and the Las Vegas Raiders making a run at him, because Derek Carr and also OBJ, I think, would like the offense that Gruden can put together, and I think Mayock might take another chance. But we all know what happened when they also signed a diva wide receiver like we just talked about with Antonio Brown. But I believe OBJ can handle himself in Las Vegas, and I think he can be successful. I think they can make that offense really benefit him, and I think he'll do a great job. The only team I ever heard for Thielen is New England.
Yep.
I've heard that too, because I feel like Belichick. Even when Adam Thielen went after Belichick not too long ago, too. So I could see Belichick being like, well, maybe.
He likes the Spitfires there.
He likes the Spitfires.
Does Belichick.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think, obviously this isn't a huge, absurd, or approved. I think Odell's got to look at the situation and say, yeah, I got Jarvis with me, but it's just not working. And I love Kevin Stefanski. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he stays with the Browns. Who knows? But, Voldy, what do you think?
San Francisco.
Ooh,
I think that's the clear-cut choice. San Francisco needs an established wide receiver. Yes, they've got, George Kittle. Deebo Samuel is a nice guy. He is a nice player. He's not a top-end receiver. I think it would be San Francisco probably willing to make a splash. They want to go out there and get a guy like OBJ. off the injury, I mean, that's going to be a tough sell overall for any team because you just don't know what that leg's going to be like going into the series. He's probably going to miss the first half of next season already because of the fact of the knee surgery. But if I had to throw out one team that wants to go out and get a receiver like OBJ, San Francisco. They need a top-end guy to go out there and get after it. Yes, they do have, like I've been saying, they got George Kittle. Is a pretty decent threat, I would certainly say. Deebo Samuel, when healthy, is very capable. He's a solid 2 receiver. Is he the top guy? I don't think so. Not in my mind. But, yeah, I would say San Francisco is the best landing spot for OBJ if something like this would happen. I don't know if Cleveland's going to hold out on him or not.
Yeah, and I think Stefanski likes him a lot. And I think it's better for him to find a place where he can flourish, and he's still damn good. And I think people just need to realize, you're going to get the antics, but he's going to work his butt off. I really believe that. So OBJ, hopefully he finds a new home, and obviously we wish him a speedy recovery and whatnot. So, is that going to do it for Absurd or Approved, Shield?
That it certainly will.
All righty, so... we got to move on to Shield shoutouts. We got a lot of Shield shoutouts to get to, so let's get it rolling with some Shield shoutouts.
Shield shoutouts.
As a matter of fact, Shield, why don't you rattle them off for us, please?
Well, I don't think Coach Gruden's going to be too happy about these first couple of shout-outs, but we do have to send a Shield shout-out to former Golden Gopher defensive back, a 17-year veteran with the Gophers for all the years of eligibility he had, Antoine Winfield Jr. finally getting his first career interception against the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday in a win for Tampa Bay. So big Shield shout out to the former Gopher who was with the team going on 19 seasons because of the fact he was either hurt, academically ineligible, just wasn't around, somehow played on the Gophers for 19 years. Congrats, Antoine Winfield Jr. on the first career pick in the NFL. Kind of looking here as well, another former Gopher making another impact. Tyler Johnson, second straight week catching a touchdown from Tom Brady on Sunday, moving Tom Brady into first place in the all-time passing touchdown list. Suck it, Peyton, and suck it, Drew Brees. TFB back at the top of the list once again. Moving on, another Shield shout-out to former Minnesota Wild center Martin Hansel, who announced his retirement from the NHL on Tuesday. Finishes his career with 673 games played, 338 points, and 574 penalty minutes. And, when the Wild trade for him from Arizona back in season of 2016, never got a truly fair shake with the Wild. They were in the team, they were in the middle of a playoff push. But once, he was at the end of his contract, never got a true shake with the Wild or an offer. Right. Ended up finishing his career out with Dallas and, didn't really pan out much from there after that. But best of luck in your new endeavors. Martin Hansel, former Wild center, from making an offer on him as well. We do have to send a couple Shield shout-outs to a couple of World Series champions. Former Minnesota Twins pitcher Brusdar Graterol, winning a World Series and an opportunity for him and, a true chance in the big leagues. Probably should have been in a Twins uniform, but unfortunately got traded in the offseason. But, hey, I feel like so far both teams have benefited. Kenta Maeda turned out pretty well for the Twins this year. And, for Graterol, he was a big part of the postseason and the Dodgers winning the World Series. So congrats to him. And finally, for Shield shoutouts this week, Los Angeles Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw finally gets the monkey off his back as an 8-time All-Star, 3-time Cy Young winner, a former NL MVP, and finally cementing his Hall of Fame resume, World Series champion. Been known notoriously to choke in the big moments in the postseason. Lo and behold, Clayton Kershaw, now a World Series champion. Congrats to the Dodgers for winning this week. That will do it for Shield shoutouts this week.
Boom! There we go. We love it. I think Lucas had something too. NFL had him on the mic last week. It was pretty cool hearing him call his interception with Antoine Winfield Jr. We love Antoine Winfield Jr. Locks him in the Hall of Fame, as Hunt is putting out, and I assume he's meaning Kershaw on that. And I agree with that as well, Hunt. So, all right. Shield Shoutouts was fantastic. Voldy, great job as always. Lucas got one more. Yeah, you bet. I hate that some people put an asterisk next to it. They had to win an extra playoff round. Exactly.
They did.
It's true.
They literally did. Yeah.
I like Kershaw. He deserves it. But yeah, the thing is that the Dodgers won. Let's just end it like that and go from there. But anyway, we got some other things to get through as well. Hey, Q&A Thursdays, folks, okay? Make sure that you're going to the Instas on Thursdays asking both, not only me, but Voldy questions as well throughout Thursday. And again, do it anytime you want. We're free. We'll find time to do it for you.
Yeah, seriously, help us out here, fellas. Everybody.
Everyone.
Ask us questions. We want your questions. Help me to help you. That's how it works.
Help me.
Give and take.
Help you. Exactly. I believe that the wild card 3-game series needs to stick around.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I like it.
Another thing, too, and Shield already talked about this recently, but, guys, we're giving out a free shirt. We got to hit 400. Our 400th like on our page will get a free MinneZona t-shirt. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? And if you got friends, invite them. Okay, invite them. Maybe they don't need to know that they might win a free shirt. If they win a free shirt, we'll get you set up with Jimbo. And again, if you don't get a shirt, well, hey, it's at a good price, $20, $5 shipping, and if you live close to Jimbo, you might not even have to pay for shipping, and you could go to his house, he'll give it to you, or find a place to go get it as well. So, claps all around. We're getting there. So let's get to 400. All right. Our next thing that we got to take care of, W2 Performance. Will Rattel has been doing a fantastic job of sharing all of our stuff. We're sharing a lot of his stuff. He's got so many great episodes on his podcast. You guys should check it out. W2 Performance with Will Rattel. He is just doing he's doing great. And we got to have him on. We got to talk with Will here soon. All right, last thing. Jack Kiesling. Jack's Junkyard. Make sure you check it out. He's doing a great job. He's been very active on the MinneZona page. He's been very active on every single of the social medias. So make sure that you guys like us on social media, like our Instagram, follow us on Instagram, follow us on the Twitters, follow us. You get the gist. But again, make sure you check out Jack's Junkyard. He's doing a fantastic job with his show as well. So make sure you check those guys out. But anyway, Voldy, great job tonight. Another successful show. And again, the fact of the matter is that our zoners are fantastic. And I say that knowing that I said what I said. But
sarcasm,
again,
people.
It's sarcasm.
Look it up.
And I appreciate that Ethan pointed that out. So I appreciate you telling me that I was saying that too much. I really do. But anyway, zoners, make sure you keep tuning in. We got so much more content for you. And we thank John Gruden as well for coming on the show. We love John Gruden, man. I'll be coming back on. Just you wait. So we'll see what happens with John Gruden. But anyway, as always, folks, keep in the zone.
Holla.
Thank you for watching MinneZona Sports Live. Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for live show broadcast. And as Voldy likes to say, follow us on all the socials medias.